Well, the problem is in America, we don't have any respect for the poor, the prisoner, or the working man. And that's the problem. In Donald Trump, Joe Biden, none of them actually have it. They just have empathy, maybe, if they're fucking lucky, but they don't have any respect for the prisoner, the poor, the working class, the Native American. I mean, they don't have it. And they pretend that they have it, but they don't have it, and they never will have it, because Joe Biden, his bullshit, about, well, my daddy is Scranton and all that bullshit, nobody's buying that shit. Nobody's buying it. Also, ain't nobody buying that shit from Donald Trump. Like, I understand the working man. Now, there's a few, general contractors and, people out there who are middle class money, as we call them, upper middle class money, who are buying that shit. But the truth of the matter is, the regular people who, have to deal with the consequences of their goddamn bullshit, we are not putting up with it. I mean, we're not buying it. And the thing is when you're in places like Texas or somewhere in the South, they certainly aren't buying this shit. And we've been held down by our politicians for far too fucking long. I mean, the Greg Abbotts of the world, the Dan Patricks of the world, these people are nothing more than a bunch of goddamn communist fucking dictators who are worried about their own goddamn self-interest than they are about the working class or the poor or the kid without any goddamn education. I mean, that's what these people are worried about. They're more worried about how they're going to save their political future and more worried about how they're going to save their own asses and keep their own asses out of trouble and up there, sucking each other off with their attorneys and all this other bullshit. They're not worried about you and me. They are not worried about the working man. They are not worried about those people over in Houston. You could tell it. Dan Patrick, he didn't give two flying fucks about Centerpoint Energy. But by God, it was something he should talk about, and he could talk about a good game. He didn't give two flying fucks about them people. And nor, on the flip side of that, nor did Lena Hidalgo. She didn't give two flying fucks about these people. It was just something else they could politicize for their own benefit. And that's what politicians do. Politicians politicize shit for their own benefit. And, they try to make each other out to be like they're good, wholesome characters. I don't know if we've ever had one of those here in America or not. I mean, even Reagan was kind of he was an actor. He was a fucking flake. And that's the thing about this, is that's the problem with America, is we give these retards, these political retards, some power to govern over us, and like we owe it to them. Like Greg Abbott truly believes that the people of Texas owe him his governor seat. Dan Patrick truly believes that people owe him that seat, and we owe this to him. Lena Hidalgo over in Houston thinks that people owe her, the people of Harris County owe her seat. But they're the first motherfucker to say, I'm humble. I respect your decision. I respect the people. This is your decision. They're so full of shit. They're so full of shit. And it doesn't matter who you are, whether you're a Republican or a Democrat. If you're in public, like J.D. Vance, I like this guy. I like J.D. Vance. I'll tell you why, because he's one of us. Now, he's forgotten what it's like to be one of us. If you go back and you watch some of his early TED Talks, this guy could have done a lot of fucking good for the working class. He could have done a lot. But likewise, he did what they all do. He begins to sell himself out. And he begins to push himself, to become one of them, while still trying to relate to you and me. Well, the truth is, it's kind of like you're a prisoner. Once you get branded as this, you can never fucking change it. You can never fucking change it. The only difference between a prisoner and these politicians is they got money and hadn't most of them been caught yet for their dirty deeds. And the meth head has been caught, or whatever. And I'm saying your county sheriff, that's a corrupt motherfucker. Your county commissioner, that's a corrupt motherfucker. Your DA, that's a corrupt motherfucker. They're all fucking corrupt. You talk about draining the swamp, I'll tell you how you drain the swamp. You get rid of every single one of these motherfuckers that's currently in any kind of office, from the local level to the fucking White House and the Supreme Court. You get rid of them motherfuckers, find you some new ones, and start over. Now, you could never do that. You could never do that. You know why? Because they're going to fight tooth and fucking nail. They're going to fight tooth and nail to keep this from happening. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Their biggest fear is that the working man, the regular middle-class American, the regular person, the poor and the lower middle class, their biggest fucking fear is that you and I get a fucking voice. Because the second they hear us, see, they use our bosses. You see, you and me, we're not out there at the damn Trump rally. We're not out there, Mr. Trump. Oh, Mr. Trump. We're not out there, Mr. Biden, Mr. Biden, Mr. Biden. We're not out there doing that shit. Our bosses are, but you and me, we're not. We're not going out there and we're not voting for the damn mayor or the city councilman or the commissioner or all this bullshit. We're not doing that, okay? Because we got to work. We got to work. We got to pay our bills. You see? So because we don't vote, we don't have a voice. But do you realize if the blue collar, if the working man actually went out there and did this, and the Hooderite and the working class people went out there and actually voted, what kind of change? They would start yelling rigged elections in a heartbeat. Because that's America for you. That's America. They don't want the best candidate. They want the most popular candidate. The candidate that they agree with. The candidate that they love. The candidate that they want. Well, that's America for you. I think it's a shitty way of doing business, honestly. I mean, what you really need is for somebody to go and put a boot in Donald Trump's ass. You need to put a boot in Biden's ass. You need to put a boot in Mike Johnson's ass. And every fucking one of them up there on Capitol Hill. You need to put a boot in their ass. And a lot of fire under their ass, America. Working class America. We need to put a fire under their ass and put the fear of the God and the American people in their ass. The American working class. Because I promise you, they don't give a damn about the working class. They give a damn about the upper middle class and the rich. The middle class and the lower middle class, they don't give two shits about. That guy sitting in the prison over there, that lady sitting in the healthcare line over there, them people in the welfare line, they don't give a fuck about you. Them people that were dealing with Centerpoint Energy, you think Dan Patrick really gives a fuck about you? Nope. After that hurricane? Nope. He don't give a fuck. And he could never make us believe that he gives a fuck. And that's the truth about it. It's like making us believe that he's a Christian. Like he's a good church-going man. Okay, yeah, I believe that. Yeah, well, you can go to church and still not be a Christian. You ever hear that? I'm not going to sit up here and claim I am either. I'm not going to bullshit you about it. I go to church and I got my flaws and I'm a damn sinner. Amen. I'm not going to sit here and pretend. There's enough fucking pretenders on the fucking internet these days. And if you don't like the F word, Maybe I cuss a little too much, but if you don't like it, you can tune out. But let me tell you how this works, folks. This is America. And the Americans that I know and love and respect are the working class. It's the people that are disrespected by every single elected official in public office. Those are the people, folks. Those are the fucking people that pay the biggest price. So we say that elections are balanced in America. Yeah, they're really not. Elections are one-sided. Elections are for the very wealthy and the upper middle class. Lower middle class, poor, can go to hell. That's true. That's what they think of you. And if you don't believe it, just take a look around you at these bullshit social programs that don't get any attention. That's America. That is America, my friends. God bless you. We'll see you on the flip side. Y'all take care now.